A very, very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is February the 19th, 2025. It's a Wednesday evening. And after an Indian Super League encounter between Hyderabad FC and Mumbai City FC, a game which were ended in a goalless draw, but yeah, it was actually one of those better nil-nils, I would say, this season. And therefore, we'll speak about it. And as always, at the start, those of you who might be watching deferred, you see what you're hearing, do leave a like behind, and do subscribe to the channel as well. And I thank you in advance for all your support over these days and months. And I start with comments that has been placed directly after the game by RCB Run Machine. Team now, John Terral needs to leave, man. 0 goals, 0 assists, mostly injured. What have they signed him for? Flicks and tricks. How many times did he lose the ball in the second half? This squad needs a massive rebuild. Otherwise, tough decisions need to be taken. Why could Window if they had problems in midfield? RCB Run Machine, I'll try and view this, what you're saying, from two sides. One side from the fan perspective and from the other side from a management perspective. And yeah, you're spot on, right? This team hasn't clicked. Terral hasn't performed to the level that Greg Stewart or other playmakers earlier, Ahmed Jahu, whoever you want to name, had performed at Mumbai City. You can't take the rest out of the team as well. This team lacks a genuine striker when Karelis is injured. I think that was, to my viewpoint in the winter, I think the biggest problems. And I know that they tried a lot of things, but some of the other didn't work again. Terral is not there for tricks or for flicks. He is a creative player where you saw in the first half that what he can create. But if you don't score off your opportunities, and if Mumbai City was leading 3 or 4-0 at the break, nobody could have said anything about it. And that, to me, sums 2024-2025 season. This team has a certain level of potential, but rarely gets the matches over the line. That's a summary of the season. And Manoj Mohammed was great. Sapic was great. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm fine. But Mumbai City as a team hasn't worked. And that is, I think, that is what Peter Kratky and Sujay Sharma and the others in the sporting management will have to take to their mind. That's why when I created that video of asking the question is, does Mumbai City FC squad need a complete overhaul? I still believe that is the case. And this today just summarizes the whole game for me, right? This just summarizes for me the potential that the squad has. But potential is nice to have to fulfill it. Yeah, again, and you need an out-and-out striker. So therefore, even bringing Jorge Ortiz in the winter is a good signing per se. You saw what Jorge Ortiz can create today. But Jorge Ortiz also isn't not an out-and-out striker. And that is, I think, the problem that Mumbai City has. And yeah, let's see. Hi, Yash, welcome back. Zorawa says, even if FSTL decides to keep running, I said to make drastic changes, be it focused on marketing as assets, a dying league with viewership and attendance dropping yearly. I mean, Zorawa, the grassroots part we've discussed, I don't know how many times. And it is more important for us to discuss it than what happens in reality if you talk to people in Indian football. I can tell you, that this whole conversation in regard to grassroots does not happen within Indian football circles. Let's put it as it is at the moment. It is a huge problem. And to me, rather the bigger question of what are they going to do. To me, I think the bigger question is, that's why I created that video. Does the ISL have a future? I created this video earlier today asking that question, putting out that question, because to me, it's to discuss. But grassroots is not the problem of that product. The problem of the ISL has been, and even if you do grassroots today, it will not have an impact tomorrow. The ISL needs to change today. It needs to change tomorrow. In 10, 15 years. That's a luxury to have. The ISL and the clubs need to find means and ways of growing this league. That is the answer. Smart marketing sounds nice, but without supports into marketing, will that happen? Very simple. So it is not an easy answer, in my opinion. The first question which needs to be answered is, does FSDL want to continue with Indian football? First question. Before we talk, that is the first question we need to talk about and discuss. And the second question then is it within the AIFF? Is it maybe on their own? Right? And that to me is of the ISL. And it is not just a question in regard to the ISL, but it's a question also for the respective clubs. Good evening, Kiran Rare. U20 girls won first game in Pink Ladies Cup, positive stat. To see them win 2-1 against Jordan, good start. And yeah, any game that our team senior junior win is a positive. With low viewership, no significant brand will sponsor the ISL is slowly becoming highly. So rather, even if the view stands, sponsors are not waiting to come into Indian football, because sponsors will look at Indian football overall, look at the AIFF, look at the national team, look at all the things that we talk about. So therefore, I don't know. It is not just ISL and numbers. It is Indian football overall, which is hurting also the product of ISL. Aritra says, Peter Katke, seriously, I'm starting to think about seeing him next year of ISL at all. Aritra, maybe that's a question in your mind, but as far as I know, that is not a question which is being discussed in Mumbai at the moment. Draw against Hyderabad is not acceptable, although we know Mumbai City FC did well in last few games, but today they bottled it up. Yeah, they didn't do well against Goa in that last game, so I don't. Before that, it's a disappointing season at Mumbai City. It's really worst game ever this season from Mumbai City FC. The Mumbai City frontline is every time disappointed, not even good decision making in frontline. I wouldn't say game of Mumbai City. They've had much worse games this season than this. The front line, yeah, is a problem. But you also have to give credit where credit is due to Hyderabad, especially Ashdeep. Maybe the game of his career today. Some incredible saves, wrong decisions here and there. On the one other occasion, maybe pass and take a shot. But yeah, let's see. Mumbai City can only blame themselves. The jeopardy of Super Cup going to affect Indian football for sure. Again, rare. There's so many things affecting Indian football at this moment. Does the Super Cup, and if it's going to be, how will it be played? Is that an impact? I mean, that would be my question to you. Is it an issue? Is it a point to discuss at this moment? I don't know. I honestly don't know. To me, it so therefore, yeah, let's see. Said from the beginning, it was Apoya and Stewart who carried Mumbai last season. The lack of a playmaker and a holding midfielder is evident. No, Zoravar, if you watch today's game, is your problem really the holding midfielder and the playmaker? I don't think so. It is the finishing. It is the striker at the end of the day. Therefore, it's what we're saying for a while. which was evident. I also said against what I watched against East Bengal is this team doesn't have a natural number 9 who can score, and also the plan Bs are not working. They've created enough chances today. This is, they had enough, so yeah, that's the reality. How will the ISL franchise grow when the revenue model of ISL itself is such which sucks out the money from them in name of franchise fees? Zoravar, are they really sucking out that money? See, the point is, what are they going to do? Ask the clubs that. That is not the problem. Hi Saurabh, under 20 women's team 1-1 against Jordan. Shame couldn't see them live. Yeah, Saurabh, they did win, but again, I know everyone wants to see all the games. Yeah, there are logistical matters, which again, the AIFF can be blamed for a lot of things, but not always on those front. If FSDL stop running top player league for us, then we will sit behind years in terms of neighbor countries league, to be honest. Here on Rare, forget looking at neighbors. I think that's the first problem we are doing. Let's focus on ourselves. We don't need to look at others. If FSDL pull out, and I think this is my point that I try to reiterate, where a lot of people don't seem to care about it. Yeah, is there a future for club football in India? Because a lot of money is being invested at the moment into these teams, into these clubs, into these franchisees. That money most likely will dry up from a lot of sources. Today's gameplay from Bipin and Vikram were pathetic. Yeah, again, yeah, can't say much. Is a fact. Hi, Dead Shark, welcome back. Finishing is dead in Mumbai City FC. Shubhash, that's been the problem this season. Mumbai City has scored 25 and conceded 25, so they've got the second best defense, but they've got the fourth worst attack in the league, and that's the whole problem. We can talk about defense. We can talk about. I mean, think about it. If we take out those 4 matches in which 3 goals each at home, that's 12 goals. They conceded 13 goals in the other 17 matches. So, yeah, it's the attack which is the problem. Hi, Blue. Welcome back. Didn't see today's game. 0-0 draw. Surprising for Mumbai. Blue, they just couldn't score. Their matches to win. If you don't score, you don't win. Mumbai need to score goals. Otherwise, sorry to say, they won't qualify for semis. Let's see, Arnav. What, in your opinion, should FSL do to increase popularity? Is it by removing the foreigner rule to increase game quality or anything else? So, Ravar, I think you need to analyze, introspect, talk with the clubs, talk with the broadcaster, talk also with the federation, and then come, talking out loud over here and saying, you need to change A, you need to change B, is relatively easy because one has to be honest and speak about what is realistically doable, and therefore we can see what happens. To me, that's the biggest challenge at the moment. In summer transfer window, Mumbai City FC need good striker for the current problem. Midfield and defender are really good. Yeah, yes, as I said, agree to that. If Mumbai City had X number of goals, even think about it. Kareli is missing matches. It's a problem. One would have thought Chetra Brothers will be on top of I-League. Great run. I hope more go on. Yeah, Dead Shark, let's see. To me, the I-League is such a crazy league. So let's see in the end. Kolkata clubs are dominating the league for many years. Where? Dead Shark, where? Mohun Bagan Supergiant has been at the top, yes, this season. Last season, they took over the top. So dominating league for many years doesn't work that way. And East Bengal has been now 11th, I don't know for how many years in the ISL. And Mohammedan is bottom of the table. So how are Kolkata clubs dominating? Doesn't add up, right? People think FSDL is idiot. Aditya, that is the first problem, right? And people think it is so easy. No, it is very, very complex. It is very complicated. So therefore, these are problems. And you know, you know, you know, let's see. Odisha FC just needs to defeat Mohun Bagan and we are in top 6. Sounds easy. So let's see if they do it. Super Cup getting scrapped according to KL now. So rather, no confirmation on that. AIFF is, according to the latest information on it, Goa was supposed to be the preferred venue. Conversations have happened with other places, you know. I don't want Churchill Brothers in ISL. I want clubs who are new and are good, not like clubs with dead fan base. I want real Kashmiri tech. Okay. Let's see what happens, Aditya. People say that if Gokulam Kerala wins and gets promoted, then Blasters fans will migrate and become Gokulam Kerala fans. I don't know who comes up with these kind of things, to be very, very honest. Interesting. Blues. If someone could explain me the logic of that someone would come up and say that, I'd be interested to hear it. Because fans don't migrate, right? And Gokulam Kerala had quite a while, but that fan base has fallen together in the last few years. If I see that, it's much less than it was 5-6 years ago, right? I mean, they used to have a decent amount of crowds at the EMS Stadium, and therefore, if and yeah, I don't know. How do you say good things about Mohun Bagan in front of a Mumbai City FC worker? Aditya, nice. People to say that if I-League clubs come, then ISL teams will lose fan base. Like it's that the reality of Indian fans, right, of our glory hunting culture. I don't know. It could be. I mean, I've seen club fans from A to B to C, so therefore that's it. Some latest news regarding Diamond Harbour C and East Bengal CCF, check on to recent rumors. Down C wants to play East Bengal to decide league decider. So rather, let the IFA schedule another. Yeah. So we'll wait and see. Again, this is another one of their own sagas to fulfill, and let's see. I visited Goa many times. I see Goan are more passionate about football and seeing legacy clubs like the Empire C, Sargaf, etc. That totally breaks my heart. Dead Shark. Those clubs have no fan bases. It's a harsh statement. And then we'll see. Depot's not, with all that they've won. Salgaonkar, Churchill Brothers, Sporting Club de Goa, all of these clubs never had the fan bases that people say they have. Hello, Dada, Mumbai got cooked. Where? I mean, how did they get cooked? Mumbai City beat itself because they couldn't score. You know, so yeah, I don't want to discuss about the corrupt board of CF. Okay, Aditya, go on 25, 26. If not, I shall get resolved. I don't think a Gone Derby is loading. My question would be, if I look at the top of the I League, which of these teams could actually build a team and then qualify for the ISL? Right? That would be my question. My simple question would be that. Because if I look at the current table of the I League, Search Brothers top, 28 points. Ryuk, 26. Namdari Interkashi, 25. Shillong Lajong, 23. Gokulam, 22. Rajasthan United, 21. I take even Srinidhi and Dempo into it. They are on 19. Sporting Club Bangalore on 14 at 10th. Aizawl and Delhi FC 10. So therefore, it's all to play for in the I League. IFA should not allow Big Three in CFL at all. Akash, then you can shut down the IFA, because the matches involving these teams are something of a gate revenue and a little bit of TV rights that they earn out of whoever showcasts those matches. FC Goa is bigger than Sargauka, Sporting Club de Goa, Churchill Brothers, and Tempo. Yeah, Aditya, 100%. Wait till Diamond Harbour get survives, then you will see what corruption is. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, Zorawar, if that happens. India U20 team defeated Jordan U20 team Pink Cup with 2-1 scoreboard, did a comeback after penalty. That's it. It's good. And I think Joachim Alexanderson, sorry, seems to be doing a good job at the women's under-20s and under-17s. None of the I-League team in position right now to qualify for I-League because they are more inconsistent than. That's another thing, And as I said, the top teams, if I look at the I-League table, the ones commercially in a position to play ISL, Interkashi, Gokulam Kerala, Srinidhi Deccan. Namdari has it, but Namdari has certain other issues too. Churchill, I don't know who's going to invest that money. I mean, after the, yeah. I want Interkashi to win the I-League because of sustainability in ISL. Yuvraj, how does the sustainability of Interkashi in it? I don't get it. Again, Interkashi's run, I want Interkashi to come in, but sustainability, no. Sorry, but I can show you Blaster C fans. That's my understanding as well. So again, that's what I'm saying. Choose what you follow and what you read, what you listen to. Look at your sources in regard to Indian football. Don't, who blabbers something or the other and seems to know, I think, I know, this is happening, that is happening. And a lot of these things that are being said are just, are just things which aren't true. So therefore, yeah. Roby proved his caliber. Roby proved our lower top division. No, they're not, Akash. Anyone who thinks that is as stupid as I think they are. He's proved nothing. I still say, if these players are the players that you think should be playing at the top level, shut it down. Seriously, shut it down. It's the same thing. I scored so many goals. Look at against whom he scored and how he scored. Baichung Bhutia could score more goals than these guys. So many they didn't like Gokulam. Yes, I know that the Blasters fans I know would never switch to, they would boycott their team, but they would never switch to Kerala fans. So therefore, again, whoever is cooking up the story doesn't make sense. It's funny as everyone was praising Aizawl FC for their All India squad, and now they're battling relegation. Everyone's saying they're bad. Aditya, that's the problem, no? Yesterday's heroes are today's villains, or tomorrow you pity them, no? Is there any plans of Inter Kashi to build any stadium in UP? That track, Inter Kashi is not going to be building any stadiums of their own. Supposedly, a stadium is being built in Kashi, which they can use. And that's, let's see. Crispin Chetri, I know he took my Udish FC women's team to FC and won the IWF, but we had all quality players, and look how we're struggling. Aditya, I know Crispin since his playing days. Great guy, thoughtful guy. Yeah. So therefore, let's see. Kerala Blasters already starting preparation for next season because of fan protest. They have got a wake-up call for the management. Then you are, Yuvraj, overestimating the influence of the fans. Fans, friends, the management should have done it anyway. So they're just doing their job. If they think that they're doing it under fan pressure, then it is not as sometimes as you think. He can make the best team in the world, but has no tactics. That's your opinion. Namdari FC owners, Namdari Seeds, check the valuation balance sheet. They're one of the richest Akash in India. Akash, nice, but there are certain criteria in the ISL and they will not fulfill it. Let me tell you that. If Churchill is not granted promotion to ISL, the so-called godfather of Indian football, let him go. The ISL is a private league, a private tournament, and it has its rules and regulations, right? ONGC interested to start a football club in Uttarakhand. There is Nitan. I don't think so. I will take any spark. Let them start. ONGC had a good team a while back. They played even the I-League, had a team in Mumbai, and yeah. But those people involved in those days, as per some sources, Bengal Football Premier League is going to happen. Guys, do me one favor. Don't believe in sources. Wait for a confirmation. Who's going to do it? Raji? The AIFF? Let them sort out the other issues and then they can go and think about those kind of things. Crispin has no tactics. He can only do long ball spam and he's nothing without Pyari Zaja and Linda Com, who are his engine actually. If this is a train, Linda. Okay, that's your opinion. Rohit says Real Kashmir brings northern part of India. I think they will qualify. Indian coach doing very well. Kareem is doing very well in attack. Let's see, Rohit. That Aizawl FC was different when they qualified for AFC. At that time, their squad was so good. Had not only local, they only had local Mizo players, made some changes, brought in a foreigner now as well. They have also, had at the time foreigners. And of course, at the time, they had good Indian level players. Why are they playing in Kolkata? Jet Shark, they don't have a stadium ready. They are making a stadium in Varanasi. So therefore, they are forced to play in Kalyani. And that's where they're playing at the moment. When is the election of AIFF? Yuvraj, there is no election of the AIFF. The AIFF constitution is in the Supreme Court. Then there are other issues. So let's see. Even if Real Kashmir get promotion to ISL, I don't see them playing at Kashmir. Akash, even Real Kashmir, I don't think will fulfill the criteria to play ISL. So who are favorite now between India or Bangladesh? Still, India is my favorite. Zorawa says many East Bengal and Myanmar fans think the likes Odafa, Kohli, Randy Martins, Chima would have lit ISL up, and they consider them better than the current ISL founders. Your opinion? Yeah, that shows me the knowledge of the level of ISL foreigners. And if you compare how the foreigners were in the days of the I League or the NFL, much, much higher these days. UP government is more interested about Kumbh, it seems, where the 1,000 football promise, yeah. If they believe in sources, then no believe in sources. No, Aditya, who are the sources? People are speculating left, right, and center, and and there's no fact to it, right? And there are people who want to throw out speculations. That's the problem. What I'm speaking about. It's not about where we are or what we're not. To me, that's the biggest problem in Indian football these days. So therefore, sources say is not something, and yeah, it's right. More than 30 minutes already on this Wednesday evening. If you haven't, you're liking the conversation, do leave a like behind, do leave a share behind for other people potentially to join us. And if you haven't, do leave a subscription behind also. We're at 2004 today. And slowly we're growing. So thanks a lot for that as well. And if you want to, I try and do shorter videos every day. And today, ask the question, does the ISL have a future? Yesterday, asked the questions, why don't Mohun Bagan fans trust their head coach? Day before, Kolkata football, East Bengal fan protests, Musiala until 2030 at Bayern, more stories, Ed Sheeran, this, that, everything. Have a look at those as well. And as always, thanks for your support. Will ISL allow Churchill brothers in ISL? Will they fulfill ISL requirement criteria? If not, second place team will qualify ISL. Yuvraj, to me, if you ask me, at the moment, there are who I don't think can fulfill the criteria. So, yeah, and then it goes down the list. Why do you think FSTL may not allow clubs promotion? Isn't I-League champion automatic gets entrance to ISL? No, it doesn't. There are criteria to join the ISL. And look at Mohammedan Sporting had to fight the criteria. Even East Bengal had to fight to fulfill the criteria at the time. So therefore, it is not automatic qualification. There are commercial regulations in place which you have to fulfill if you want to play ISL. I'm a fan of Odisha FC, and let me tell you, I know him better than you. Whatever I'm telling is nothing but truth. Aditya, great that you saw him, you know him, this and that and everything. Yeah, you believe your things, let me believe my things. By the way, off topic, Real is complaining about refereeing giving threats that they will leave. Bro, it has become such a comedy. What else to say? The team which until recently seemed to have been favored by refs in La Liga and even in the Champions League now is complaining about it. So yes, let's see. Details, so there is no Super Cup details. The Super Cup is being planned. There are ideas around the Super Cup, but nothing concrete in regard to dates or other things of the Super Cup. Supposedly in April, but so far, yeah. If Real Madrid wants that they could come to ISL, yeah, Aditya, very nice idea. Never gonna happen. How long is the term of AIFF president? How they elected? All my childhood, I only seen Prabhu Patel as president. Dead Shark, normally the term is 4 years. They were voted in by the EXCO. Yeah. The likes of Sony Nordi and Katsumi playing in ISL, in my opinion, Rafa Renti would have been decent foreigners in ISL as well. Did Sony make it in the ISL? So that's what our two answers. I mean, think Sony Nordi was playing at the same time as Diego Forlan. And just think. If FSTL disqualify promotion to the I-League winner, then what's the logic of promotion system? They could have direct access. It's kind of bullying. No, how is it bullying, Akash? It is known to everybody that there is or there are criteria to qualify to get into the ISL. I mean, that is what promotion is. Fulfill certain criteria, you do not get promoted. There are teams, for example, here in Germany, who do not take promotion from the fourth to the third tier, because fourth is somewhat semi-pro, third tier is pro, and some of those fourth tier clubs actually don't apply for the license of the third tier. And then the second or the third, it's even happened in the fifth tier, which is amateur to semi-pro. So that is something which happens around the world, you know. I think Inter Kashi is the only club eligible enough to be in ISL since they're backed by Inter. They're backed by Inter? Kashi has no backing of that sort of from any club. Last year they had some sort of partnership with Atletico Madrid, but nothing. Yeah, but there is nothing. There is no Inter partnership. What are the requirements to join ISL? There are certain financial commitments you have to make. There are stadium requirements. Again, your financial requirements are the most important. Then the second one are stadium requirements. And if you come to Punjab FC, Punjab FC is forced to play in Delhi because, as per ISL, they don't have a stadium in and around Punjab which fulfills the criteria. Which team you support in ISL? I, on one side, support Mumbai City because I was involved in setting up Mumbai City in 2014. And Punjab FC because I set up the academy of Ranglas Punjab in 2017, 18, 19. It lost its aura. It's so boring now. Okay. Then Akash, you're thinking, unlike the rest who think that this new Champions League format has been the most interesting in years. Real Madrid is whining like East Bengal. Zorawar, they are next level. I think even East Bengal is nowhere near to what Real Madrid is doing at the moment. Real Madrid will leave La Liga and go to Segunda Division, says XYZ. Yeah. At least talk to me about how do you have faith in Crispin, sir? All you said about is your experience of talking, but I see nothing done by him. Look at our current standings in IWL. Aditya, you said something which is very important, and it applies to coaches around. You're dependent on this, and then you build a strategy, and then you try to get a result. That's where, for example, Peter Kratky is failing at Mumbai City because he doesn't have a striker. And the same applies to Crispin. As you said, you mentioned Piari and you mentioned Linda as two key players to how he plays. Add on to foreigners to that. That's how good or how bad a coach is. Now, you will say he doesn't have a strategy. Knowing him, having spoken to him a few times over the years, he does have a strategy. Our club is not a toy for billionaires. And can fan protests change a football club in any way? Pradeep, difficult, right? If it was a toy for the billionaires, as the Manja Park, then the billionaires wouldn't care, right? But in this case, they care, right? So to me, the question is, are you supporting it in the right way or not? And management will not always be right. And I take good example is Mumbai City, right? The team didn't click. So the blame goes to the coach and the management. And the same applies to the Blasters and all other teams who are failing. East Bengal, very good example, right? East Bengal, club officials, ex-coach, even to some extent the current coach have tried to place the blame elsewhere. Yeah. Rohit says Indian clubs want more spots in any tier of AFC club. East Bengal to lift the Challenge Cup, Challenge League, AFC Challenge League, and qualify for ACL2. Let's support India. Where do you hear that the clubs want more spots? I mean, guys, are you making own assumptions? Are you, I don't know. Where is all this info coming from? Right? Today I'm hearing a lot of things where I'd say, guys, think about it. You know? Meet the criteria of standard football club and we call them our Indian clubs. So this was the reality before ISO was created. Okay. Rava says Kerala Blasters fans are like RCB fans of ISL. Team performs poorly, they protest, then management will do some drama to avert their attention. Yeah, sadly, that's the reality. Hi, Mukul, welcome back. Pakistan player joined UAE Pro League. Your reactions are Indian players being left behind. See, Pakistan doesn't have a working system. So, so therefore, just make that comparison doesn't make sense. What's the logic of stadium standard when most of the clubs play at empty stadiums? Akash, to create some sort of standard. If you allow teams to create a minimum standard, then for example, the Kolkata club will say we'll play at the Maidan, and then we're back to, I don't know, 1950s. So therefore, you have to create a certain level of standard. City Football Group needs to highly invest in Mumbai City this season. They're horrific this year compared to the levels between Mumbai, so they need to better prepare for next year. How was the feeling and excitement setting up an ISL club? How did you felt helping create a club that would match the philosophy of legacy clubs that would dominate the league for years to come? Aditya, a lot of hard work. When we started in June 2014, we had nothing. Yeah. And we built something out of nothing. And when I went back to the club, to the city, recently, I could feel that we are having a situation that there are a lot of things that we put in place in year one, right? Values, ethics, operational stuff. So that's the most, then, one can be proud of things. But at the end of the day, in 2014, in regard to a partnership or maybe, something more, at the time they didn't consider it. And they did it 5 years later. So I know that in certain things that I tried in year one, for which it was too early, it worked. And that's what I'm most proud of, to be very honest. That a lot of ideas, thought process that I had in year one, which I think a lot of, that has worked. We can expect Indian Women's Super League from FSL. It's no chance. Can't Chhatrapati share Fatoda Stadium with FC Goa? What's the main issue? I'm not aware. It's money, that shark. It's money. It's finance. Stadium, I think, can be sorted, but finance, Chhatrapati to me will not be able to fulfill their ISL financial criteria. Can Mumbai top six? Sorry, let me just put the lights on. It's just getting a little dark over here in Germany. To me, yes. Again, today they dropped 2 vital points, in my opinion. Would have been better. But Mumbai City are still in a situation where they can make it. I would think so, that they can make it. In your opinion, which players you pick for Asian Cup? Yashraj, as I've said, it's 19th of Feb. Let's do this conversation at the end of the month, early next month, and then we can decide who we want in or who we want out. I want Bengal Football Premier League, which can kill CFL and Maidan dominance. Not happening, Akash. Even if that starts, or even if they're trying to build it, not happening. Without system, Pakistan players getting offered some league better. Why don't Indian players get offered some Thailand league, Indonesian league, or J League 3, K League 3? Because we're bad. No one wants our players. AFC slots for India is 1+1 as of now. If any club of India does well, then the slot will increase for Indian clubs. Could be teams, other nations, what they're doing. So therefore, it is calculated. Would you go back to Mumbai City FC if they call you back? Would you love to go back to the club you gave hard work for? Aditya, I am always of the opinion I've learned in sports, never say never. I'm very proud at what we've built. In the first season, under very, very difficult and tough circumstances. I'll be very, very honest about that. It wasn't easy at the time. But yeah, if there is a reason, if there's an opportunity to come back and do some work for Mumbai City, that's why I also say, it's for me, I have a special link to Mumbai City. I have a special link also, as I said, to Ranglas Punjab. Therefore, yeah, why not? Look at Apuja, he will get 5 times less in a competitive European league. Gosh, he will first of all not be in a competitive European league, and he will not even get 5 times less of what he's getting. He'll get much, much less. India 1-2-1, that can also happen in men's 20 as a tactical plan. Yeah, Sachin, agree on that. After 11 years, we realized that nothing can happen in football with fan power. Karabas FC fan. Pradeep, it's a nice myth that also we are told, I don't know. It's difficult. Be it here or be it elsewhere. Serious about improving it before we just PR. Yes, I have met Mrs. Ambani. Yes, I have sat across the table of Mrs. Ambani. I've had tea with Mrs. Ambani. Is she serious? Yeah, she is developing Indian sports. Is she serious? And it's not PR, but again, it's a lot of factors. So what is that? Mohun Bagan will have full strength team against Odisha. Only Manveer and Sahal is top full. Okay, Zoravar. Indonesian league is better than ISL. Excuse me, last time I know the Indonesian club table toppers will go to AFC Champions. Go to AFC Champions League 2. Aditya, where we go and where they play, the Indonesian league is better than us, 100%. Are you a POI or Indian OCI? I'm a German passport holder. So would you agree that after arrival, our footballing quality has deteriorated? Our Indian footballers have deteriorated. I think the foreigners have improved. Many other Indian club in recent time all want you to see it in your football system. Akash, yes, I did get an offer from an entity, but wasn't interesting to me due to other projects, amongst other things. As I said, I'm working on certain things in regard to, you know, yes, I did, but I didn't take up that offer. We India need to make space for youngsters in wings like Vishnu, Sohail, Thoy, Kuru, Ravi. Okay, what to expect and what not to expect from Indian football? Very philosophical question. Expect the unexpected, I would say, on Indian football these days. We love to see and hear about success stories, about growth, about other things, and that's not happening, right? To me, that's the biggest struggle, biggest challenge in India. If you want to improve, a lot of things need to happen, and those things are not happening. XYZ said Indonesia might just play World Cup. They were ranked below us for so long. Where are we? Marcelinho in Oxford United yet just Buckingham never chose our player. Yeah. I think the influence of Ivan is still there in Carabao. See the current squad, Ivan would have been in top three, but again, the players, the caliber, it's all different. They were made for Ivan. I don't think they're. No, I don't know. When will VR come to India? Not any plans for next season in terms of referee department? Fed up with these errors of referee. Europe, VR is not coming anytime soon, and in Europe, Norway has already removed VR, and other countries they're talking about removing VR. VR is not going to be that, you know, God sent gift to football and will change things. Mizoram with Reliance is doing some good work. There is a holistic way, including coaching, nutrition, refereeing. Can we do that like things in Kerala? Redel, why not? It is easy to blame players for pursuing money, but in a country where sports is considered a waste of time and standard of living is worse than many African countries, can't blame players for pursuing. You can, Zoravar, because a player who goes abroad, and this is the lack of education. You come back to India after a year or two or three in abroad, you will earn even more money. So going abroad and maybe not getting a lot of money in a short term, you will get more money in the long term. Your thoughts for Hotstar and Jio Cinema merger? Ruraj, yeah, happened. It's a Star, it's a Reliance merger for both sides, I guess. And yeah, let's see. It's a huge thing to have, and Sports 18 will soon disappear. It will only Star Sports. So let's wait and see what happens. We need at least 8 foreign spots for next ISL. Will not happen. With the salary, no parent of a footballer who want him to play there. Who says that? The point, see, that's the point, Zoravar. If you are a professional, this is something which I think we need to educate people in India. You know, to me, players and parents need to understand that if broad, in the short term, it's not going to be about the money. And sports is something where you need to struggle. if you think you're gonna be made something, and it's not XYZ and then having a job. Sports is about struggles. Very rarely do you have a straight cut line of a player having been or a player being successful. That has to be kept in mind. So therefore, if we don't keep those things in mind, it's going to be very, very difficult. Indonesia playing ACL elite, but not they have two ACL two spot and ACL conference spot. Their rank is 20th in ACL ranking. India is 16. Is 1+1 spot in ACL two. Sachin, they are part of East Asia and we are part of West Asia. So therefore, also rankings, it can't be compared. But it's right. Indonesian league is better than ISL. I agree. Of course, Indonesian league is better than us. Tobo says the quality of our grassroots coaching and competition means that the only way to get better would be younger players going abroad, but it's impossible because of the salaries here. Tobo, it's not only the salaries. A player under the age of 18, right? That's another restriction that global football has. So anyone who's doing that is doing by the educational route. So therefore, yeah. So we need to develop our own game. Or now should we be national sports advisor to consider return to India in old age? Or XYZ, you know what? I am someone who says, ideal, if you ask me, certain part of the year, I live here in Europe. I live here in Remscheid in my hometown. This is where I'm born. This is where I have my roots. But I also have my roots in India, especially in Kolkata. So therefore, if I can spend time here and there, ideal. But don't fix me and say, have to stay here, have to stay. I'd rather come in and as an advisor or as a consultant or something where I can come in and go out. That gives me that flexibility. And I've got other things, other projects I'm working on, which are a lot of fun. Do you think majority of players come from both status or society? That's why they hesitate to go abroad where money is a livelihood and they are sole breadwinner. Other reason to me is also that even those who can take a risk don't do that. For example, I'm very happy that Som Kumar has taken the risk to go back to Slovenia and try and become better because he's realized he's not ready for the level of football at men's level. Majority football poverty group, for them the pursuit of taking football itself is a break from it, hardly if you come from middle to high income families like that of Chetris. So rather, that is the reality of most footballers around the world. That is my point. No risk, no gain. And there are players and fall through the cracks of the system. But if you're not going to try and do something, let's see. Do you think the pan-Indian football system, it isn't meant for India? We are so huge and it's difficult for us to do the groundwork in every state, so it's better to do it in hyper-local way. Ranil, you've mentioned, I don't know how many times, and I've said hyper-local sounds great. You need a regional plan, you need a zonal plan, you need a state plan. Hyper-local sounds nice, but no, it's not working that way. ISL has improved Indian football in terms of quality and professionalism, and also ISL is better than NFL and I-League. Quality, I don't know. Professionalism, 100%. Structure, organization, much, much better. Broadcast. But in Indian footballers, it hasn't worked. No Indian club can beat an Indian. Just need to watch those highlights. Okay. How big is age for Asian sports is really, really harming us? Of course. Our biggest problem, besides all the other problems that we have, it's a huge problem. Sometimes I believe ISL is the biggest roadblock for Indian football. I don't think it is the biggest roadblock. It can be perceived to be a roadblock, let's put it this way. But I think there are other problems in Indian football which are bigger problems than the ISL. FSCL might force to increase the number of foreigners to make ISL more exciting and quality as it will increase viewership, or else FSCL might decide 4 to 6%. Not happening. 6 to 7 is not happening. 5 could be a discussion. that the clubs force on the league, but I don't know. Let's see. Increasing viewership because you have got one more foreigner to make the league more exciting. I don't know. People often criticize Belgian people cannot find proper playing 11. They criticize your opinion. Is it to me, Murali? There's a justification of asking that question. Why not? Sports as a profession in India is majorly taken by poor families as they can't get access to quality education. So, however, it is the fact around the world. Most footballers, most sports persons in most of the sports are people from poor strata of society. There are exceptions, let's say tennis, golf, which are money intensive sports. But otherwise, it is more the poorer people who play the professionals. Even Saudi players play in Saudi Pro League. I don't understand why everyone is blaming Indian players if they're happy in their life financially. Yuvraj, I think you weren't there a few days ago when we were discussing this. Saudi players are now leaving Saudi Arabia and going to Europe. So that trend has started. U20, U15, I said like I know don't gonna happen. It's my thinking, how can we improve in the world of football? We already have something called the Reliance Foundation Development League, which is a reserve, a Premier League 2 sort of thing. We have an under 17, under 15, under 13 leagues. Rohit. If ISL is a roadblock, the league was freaking wall in the tunnel. Yeah, Aditya, that's something that people don't want to accept now. Just look at the case of the NRI who tried to enter US legally and were deported. Just look at the plight of their parents. So rather, very interesting to see that sometimes we say from certain states the people are poorer, but you also have a lot of people who are entering illegally the US who are from middle class backgrounds, who have proper professions. So yeah, I think I give my own kidney for that. I cannot see the FC in I League. It will break my heart. Aditya, if ISL shutdowns, do you think Odisha FC will survive? That would be my first question. Do you think if person who come from a richer family, do you think they try their stint abroad because even if they fail, they can manage those years? Yeah. But I find European players better financial freedom compared to Indian player. I don't think so. There's a lot of players banking, not only players, even families. I've worked with players where they said, you know what, if I tried, I don't know what would have happened. You know, RFDL is just ISL reject player league. That's whatever. That's the problem, right? Those who make it play ISL. Those who don't make it then play RFDL or then move. All sports pages say Ivan Vukovic came back to Blasters next season. Let's see, Pradeep, if you think that's news or if that's going to happen. Very, very interesting. But to me, it's a challenging one. With Vukovic coming back, would be interesting to see. But yeah, big challenge for the Blasters, I guess. Facts don't care about feelings. If someone entered you illegal, no matter which gender, should be deported, no matter how much the parents cry. Okay. About mentality, we as Indians tend to go for a safer side than take risk. Rushabh, hi, welcome. Very, very important point. Yes, 100%. Can we wait for more few years and give time to ISL? Aditya, I don't know. It is time is up. Time is running out, and the AIFF and ISL needs to find a solution to it. In Germany, if a player can't make it in football, do they get any income alternatives like jobs? So rather, it depends on what they're doing in parallel to football. Study to do the school finals. A lot of players learn something practical, so they've got something in hand. And there are some who just don't do anything and bank 100. And those who bank 100% on football, no, they don't have an income. How, you have learned something. I don't care about the national team. I want to see Indian clubs before finish. See, and that's the problem, Aditya. The national team is a very, very critical factor in the success of Indian football. In a proper way, if the national team doesn't get to a certain level, we're not going to be in a position to do the things that are needed, right? So that's very, very important. Right, 1 hour and 6 minutes on this Wednesday evening. Over an hour already on this live football. If you haven't, do leave a like, do leave a share behind. 15 likes so far. Thank you very, very much. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed so far, do subscribe. We're growing slowly, slowly, slowly. We're at the moment at 2,200 and 2,234. Look how Saudi national team has regressed with expansion of the league. Simon, it is an up and down. Saudi Arabia is a good example that they've been always on the up and down. Saudi Arabia has never been a consistent national team performer per se. They're not a Japan, they're not a Korea, they're not even an Iran. And again, some of the players I think there've been 2 or 3 players in the past who've gone abroad. That's a good sign for them. People who talk about poverty, do you think Africa conditions more harder than India despite they make it? Yes, 100%. 100%. In some extent, even in South America, in other parts of Asia, things are even worse than India. So that poverty card, to play that poverty card for India, doesn't make sense. How come you don't know how his time is running out? What are the issues? I don't understand. ISIL is growing. You cannot just shut down because Aditya, it's not about AIFF. It's also about Reliance, about FSDL. The league is how are you saying it's growing? It's stagnant for a while. This whole expansion with promotion teams and all has not worked. I said I think a 10-team league would be better at the moment given the realities that we are in, but nobody's going to say that, and that's part of our problem where we are stuck in Indian football at the moment. Is football part of school curriculum in Germany? No, not football in general. Sports is at least once every week, but football per se as a sport is not a known curriculum. Do you think certain sports in India are struggling with not enough structure, like swimming pool? Do you think for certain sports in India is difficult to grow? Morally, is something good to have. And there are a lot of sports where you need infrastructure. Now, if you tell me swimming pools, you need pools to be swimming? Could it be an open pond? Could it be the ocean swimming? So therefore, if you don't have the infrastructure, try and work around it. A lot more player would go abroad if they were not being paid massive salaries for being mediocre. I guess so, but again, there needs to be a demand also for Indian players, right? Those mediocre players wouldn't. Why, Why Anwar is still playing without any ban or suspension? Vishnu, good question. That case has gone on. I don't even know where the PSC stands with cases, this, that, everything. It's pura khichdi. Yeah, I don't know if the move has actually helped the player also, right? Gets more money, or supposedly gets more money. So yeah, be happy. As I said, we have this poor mentality of playing it safe. Africans don't. They give it all out. We have our basic B's, our plan B's, basic education stuff forced by our parents. Yeah, Rushabh, very well said. Like it's better to have no coach than have a bad coaching. Really depends on situation. Sometimes it's this way, sometimes that way. Do you have any fanboy? One stream today's U20 match. My YouTube was completely silent. Pranjal, Um, it depends on if whoever in Turkey is organizing that tournament makes that available or not. Indians don't like to take risk. Reason why this country is behind in the research and development among other similar economies, as R&D is risky. Actually, had a very interesting conversation with an Indian father over here, whose son is has to try out certain things, and I clearly said, you need to allow your son to decide on what he wants to do and not what you want your son to do. That is how we decided in Germany. Aditya says in Germany they don't teach football. We have cornered sports to only studies, calling it physical education. Yeah. What if Mohun Bagan goes to FIFA regarding Anwar? Right. So now I don't even know at what status this whole thing is. Can they go to FIFA? Can they go to CAS? I don't even know. If these players hard, they can make it, but they don't have the financial backing or they don't want to take the risk. Simon, for someone to go to a trial, you need to be invited for a trial, right? And as far as I know, there is no is getting offers from abroad to play in XY Z country or academy or whatever. It's not there. So therefore, that's the first problem. If you want someone to go on a trial, he has to be invited. No Indian player at the moment, yeah. Can you visit Mizoram in the Pong League and do a video about it? Brenel, not sure. I'll try. I mean, my Mizoram visit is pending. If I can visit the Nopang League, I don't know. They have advantage. If they had advantage regarding Anwar, they would have played that card. They've not played that card so far. That's the question that someone should need to be asking to the Mohun Bagan Supergiant management of why, and all that data is out there, or do they have themselves done to pursue the case? That should be the question that someone or the other needs to be asking them, right? That's the reality of where we're stuck at the moment, right? With the case, and nothing is moving. Whom will you take as a Atletico? If you ask me, I would rather take Atletico. In the Champions League. When a player is invited for a trial abroad, does he have to pay all his expenses or is it covered by the club or something like some part of it is covered? Rushabh, it depends on the trial, who's organizing trial. There is no, it can be all of the ways that you've mentioned. It can be he pays everything. Some of it, let's say he covers his flights and the accommodation is covered, or nothing is covered. So all of it is possible. Does having this big population to extend made our progress stagnant? No, but it's not, right? So we're not even stagnant. We are regressing. I think that should be the real conversation here, right? That's the problem, right? So for me, we should be talking about those things, and that's not happening. Yeah, that's population actually should be a bonus for India. It is actually a drawback at the moment, I feel. Seeing a lot of Canadian ballers making it into Europe, is it because of the investment in soccer? Yes, of course. Canada has done a lot. The top teams now play in the Major League Soccer. They've built the Canadian Premier League. The women's, of course, are amongst the best in the world anyway. So yeah, they've done a lot of things for football. Do you think that lack of dual citizenship is another reason why Indian players hesitate to go abroad? Why would dual citizenship for Indian players? Why would Indian footballers get dual citizenship? And who would offer Indian footballers dual citizenship? Right? People always give excuses of big population. Every is advantage, not problem. Yeah, totally agree, bro. And I think that's the major thing is that we turn our advantages into negatives, into disadvantages. That is where India is struggling the most, in my opinion. That India needs to turn around its disadvantage. You know, is Somkumar at the good level in Slovenia? Can we compare to Starbuck extent of Gurpreet? Is he right now in their youth reserve team? Rishabh, to compare Som to Gurpreet is difficult because Gurpreet was already at the time when he went to Starbuck someone who's played multiple years at East Bengal, or sorry, at Indian Arrows and then at East Bengal. He was an established goalkeeper in India, even a national team goalkeeper. Som is a younger keeper, so for Som is at a development stage. So he, to me, is more of a reserve team player. He can't play in the youths. He's too old now. He's 19. So his reserve team or maybe even second team. So for him, you can't compare these stints because Gurpreet was a finished product and got better. And therefore, to me, Som has to become a senior level goalkeeper, which he's not. Like franchise league up to extent is not a bad idea. Canada does. We have to find some way out of it. Why? In Starpek, Gurpreet hardly got game time, only played a few matches. Zorawa, that was the case in the first 2 years. In the third year, he was the number one goalkeeper before he came. So, and his only highlight was making an appearance in Europa League. No, it's not. Gurpreet played quite a number of matches in that third season, and I think he could have had a full breakthrough if he had stayed on. Are we a tier 4 or tier 5 team? Renal, I like to say, very difficult to say. To make comparisons. Did he leave? Why did he leave Starbuck? Zorawa, money and PFC. PFC offered him a contract which was, was the highest ever for a goalkeeper at the time, and therefore Gurpreet then said, you know what, thank you very much, I'm going back to India. That's that he got an offer which was so good that which he couldn't turn down, and that's the reason why he returned to India. Yeah, that's the whole story of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu and his European career, which ended. Right. Sorry. And Rishabh says Gurpreet did play in the last season, but the team was fighting for relegation. Some chances, but Starbuck was worse until then. Yeah, was way worse. That's true. Starbuck were fighting to stave off relegation. They actually got relegated later on from the Eliteserien in Norway. And but still, he had a African national team goalkeeper in front of him. Gurpreet developed, Gurpreet evolved, and it has helped him to some extent to be India number one. All the clubs are happy losing money on the top division, yet none wants to lose a quarter on the grassroots. Yeah. But Turbo, if I want to see it from in India, your first problem is, are you able to build infrastructure? And if you see, very few to none have actually their own infrastructure. So there is your first stumbling block. You don't know if the league will be around. Would you invest into grassroots? That's, see it from their perspective. From our perspective as fans, you'd say, listen, build an academy, build a mini stadium, build your own exposure, independent of what the AIFF is doing, it would work. They have a different perspective on things. So it's all about kids and what we're doing with kids, like engaging them and giving them good coaching, nutrition, etc. Of course, Ren, those are, to me, those are basic. Grassroots, youth football, coaching, competition, scouting. Do that, take care of that, give it 10, 15 years, you should be producing better players. But all of those things need to be interlinked, intertwined. Otherwise, nothing will happen. What happened with Vijay Chetri? Yes, Zorawar, he wanted to stay, but Chennai wanted him back. So therefore, he couldn't stay longer over there. Why did Sandesh fail in his Croatia stint? Rishabh, he got injured in his first training and never recovered from that. So we can't say if he failed or not. He got injured, nothing happened. Yeah, right. Hi Mayank, I'm good. How are you doing? Prediction about today's Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Anything on would be a surprise. If Pep can pull this off, that would be a feat. But normally, Real Madrid in these kind of games would, not always, but most of the time would be my favorites. Let's put it this way. Apart from Som, who else is in Europe? One of the, you know, yeah, no one actually. There's some of these players like a Cabernet is in. Some players are fifth, sixth, seventh tier in Spain, but none of importance. So a Croatian fan on Reddit, the club wasn't impressed at all by Jingan. In fact, according to his club officials, he was worse than a semi-pro player. So Ravan, I mean, interesting that when the player got injured in the first training session and never actually trained again with the club, right? So therefore, yeah. So how does we align them into a system like zonal system or create a system of 10, 12 youth systems and add the rest of things needed for them to succeed? Renal, it depends on, zonal is too big, right? Look at city, look at state level. For the youth reserve team, Rishabh, not that I've heard of anything so far. I've not seen anything that he's played so far. He's training. I saw some footage on that, but I haven't seen him play so far. Where is Sanjay Stalin at the moment? He's at Mumbai City. He's at Mumbai City and for the playing 11, and there where you see, that's, for example, Valpuria has developed to be a first 11 player. So Sanjeev is, as Rishabh says, is a Mumbai City warming the bench over there. I don't think any of the club owners, I don't see ourselves being profitable in the near future. That is, yeah, but some of them are hoping still. Let's say that. Indian football is like religion. Ministers only discuss about it during elections. Interesting point. Stalin went to Portugal. Yes, he trained in Portugal, but again, also didn't make it. We don't have empty space in India. Even we have it is internal politics. We fight among ourselves and say we perform poor in international sports arena. See, it doesn't even need empty spaces. You have to create your empty spaces to play, right? They used to. Why do they say street footballers? This was a big thing here in the 90s because players used to play on the roads, right? Zaragoza showed Gurpreet Singh Sandhu's place. Yeah, but let's see. The next match most probably will be back. Have you ever felt the players are enjoying with the crores of money and happy to warm bench? Yeah. I think change. Who's your current best Indian right winger number 8? Champion, despite the performances. And the others are not better than. Indian ministers are busy with India's got latent. Yeah, so now. Do you think China going to give tough competition in the upcoming years? Morally, I have no clue. I have no clue. Well, not Indian football, your thoughts on it? Morally, Indian fans support success in sports. It's like they'd rather support you know, you know, any sport. They'll rather support the world star. So that's, football is not an exception to me. Do you see Peter at Mumbai next season? The Waves, yeah, I've not heard anything else. He's still, I think, yes. It's sad to see Indian corporations wasting money on foreign cricket leagues, but don't consider English lower division clubs generating more revenue than failed cricket leagues. Does it? I don't know. They've got other ideas with the cricket. Isn't it interesting to see various rising stars every season next year warming bench? After that, they just disappear. Yeah, gaming warriors. That's why I say that's the question of quality. It's going to be a really sad way to go. He looks tired and demotivated, and the players also don't look motivated enough to play under him. Yeah, the Waves. The thing is with him is, what are you going to do? Today the commentators are saying again and again he needs to change something. What are you going to change with this team? How are you going to change the formation? I don't know. According to government, stricter rules will come on social media, including YouTube. Yeah, let them do that. Ovenawa says, sir, Indian clubs গুলো কি এশিয়াতে বেটার করার জন্য কি কি করতে হবে? So Ovenawa asks, what do Indian clubs have to do better in Asian competition? Very simply, they need to have better players. Bhalo player chai. So that's the main thing. Considering the problems in footballing ecosystem, like, we have to appreciate the old players in the entire history who made it to the national team, like wearing a national team jersey is a pride. You can say that, but there are national team players who should have never been national team players. In terms of development, we are significantly regressed in the midfield and attacking department, but the goal position stood strong until now, except Keith, Gurmeet, Tiwari, Benjade, all are inconsistent. Yeah. Simon, I would say Keith has not been tested. Gurmeet also has had his shake-ups, and the others have had more shake-ups. Therefore, I don't take anyone, Any dream list of players in your bucket list to meet apart from football? No, I don't have these bucket list things. And if it's a star, celebrity, so that's like. Like I defend Kratky each game, it has been a really unfortunate season with so many injuries, and he can't teach professional footballers finishing. That's my problem, the Waves. The problem is that in the last season, problem in discipline, Mumbai City made some drastic changes, and it worked. Last season you got an Ika Goro Chena who even got injured. You got Yakub in. It worked. So, any parent dream their child to play high standards of football in India, your advice? Ensure he's playing in the right football training center, football academy or club. But I found his substitution questionable today. Getting in Nikom to play on something when he can't control the ball doesn't seem to work, and Chikara clearly isn't there yet. Nikom was playing on the right, and he was playing against Manoj Mohammed. And Chikara, he wanted to put in height up front as a striker because there's no other striker on the bench. So therefore, is left, right? Is Apuria Thapansal eligible for FC competitions? Yeah. Why shouldn't they be, Obinabu? In my school, the football tournament happen every year, but as soon as players come in 11, 12, they just leave football. In fact, most of my friends leave football. See, and that is, that's not on the players. It's not on the Indian team performance level. It's on the players themselves to to be willing to wanting to play a sport, and then that desire is not there, right? So that's to me is a problem. In Kerala, in time of football match, crackers were fired to as per the media. The unofficial Kerala football scene, the sevens scene, is a huge problem, right? Where we've seen these bamboo constructions collapse and all these kind of things happen, which shouldn't happen but do happen, right? So therefore, yeah, it's very tricky sometimes. Do you think we have problem one match hero like cinema? Yeah, Murali. Do you think the club owners are okay losing money for more visibility? What visibility are getting for losing the money? I don't know. One game time, yeah, Nicole, he is as promising as a player. So you saw today, and you saw also the other day when he was put on against Mountain Sporting, that he has to physically get better. He's very talented, but he's not on ISL level yet. So it's not a young Nikom. I think of every young talent in the ISL. So they need to get better. That's the challenge. It's such a weak bench this year compared to Mohun Bagan, who have the same quality player on the bench available. And the Waves, that is exactly at the moment not true. Mohun Bagan can replace their foreigners. But if you, for example, even the much criticized Liston or a Manveer is taken off, where is that replacement? If you take off the Shubhashish, where is that replacement? Mohun Bagan's bench is not actually as good as people are saying. Just look at it. Yeah. So therefore, yeah. So that's something now. 20 plus, not 200. Okay, Blue. I've heard that Bengal Giants are being serious about youth development. Infos on that. Sandipan, I've been hearing that the Bengal Giants are serious of one for the last I don't know how many years, but I don't see it. I would love that, Sandipan, or to anyone, if the Kolkata teams take it seriously, it would be good, but it's not happening. Like in 22-23 season, we had a fall coming on from the bench for the break. The quality of the signings has dropped. Yeah. I don't think the signings quality has dropped. It's that the signings haven't fulfilled their promise. Manzoro, sadly, has never shown what he was able to do at Jamshedpur. Toral, to me, is a good player, but if you have a Toral, I've said that that you need someone who's going to be shielding him and holding him. And if you're looking at that, you're playing at the moment with the Toral, with the Brandon, and with the Fanif. Where is that defensive-minded midfielder in that combo? Do you think women's team also declined over the years? Yes, massively over the last 3 years. Do you think country has a role in letting go players or signing, or is it just your responsible as the director of football? On the release, I think, again, some of the players got ridiculous offers from other teams. Other players, yeah, they could have, again, but there's certain players who just wanted to leave, right? Vineet Rai wanted to leave. So therefore, yeah. My impression of Chikara is mixed. He holds up play, is poor, but still makes good runs. Rishabh, young striker, needs time, needs to play regularly. Should loan out to I-League. I agree. Is Liston and Manvi also eligible for AC competition? Yes, of course. I mean, why shouldn't they be? No? I don't know. Obina was eligible. Nufal is better than Vikram. No way, Aman. Nufal had one good game, and that was the first against Mohun Bagan as a sub. Since then, shadow. Like the big question is, will the ISL happen next year? Exactly, Reno. That's the question which I ask in my video. Does the ISL have a future? Very simple question. That's the question that needs to be asked. That's the overarching question out there, which needs to be looked at, where the ISL needs to showcase, and the clubs. In Mohun Matsubajan, only foreign subs are good. Exactly. But the problem Indian player, first they have to fight with federation and politics. We fight within ourselves. We lost half that with Western. Episode India, unbelievable. Yeah, but Murali, it is not in every sport like that, right? Yes, there are problems in the federations. Yeah. David is the player who impressed me very much, but David is something unique and have hunger to score unlike most Indian strikers. Yes, and you're right, but you have to see against whom he played, against whom he scored the goals. I saw him live against Mohun Bagan, against Tom Eldred and Alberto Rodriguez, and David didn't get a foot on the ground. Right? You have to judge a player on one side on his stats, 100%. But again, what are the capabilities and against whom he is playing and who's he scoring? If you take out the foreigners in most teams, or not most teams, I think every team, if you take out the foreign defenders, if you take out the foreign defensive midfielders, as I say, the only exception to me is Mohun Bagan. The quality of the team drops dramatically, right? That's our biggest problem at the moment. That if you take out those players, the team's quality drops dramatically, and it's something that we need to consider and look at. And the very, very clear that we are building something. We need to look at what we're building, and and to me, we are far away from creating something where the players are finished products. We are in football in a situation is that the question is that we're hyping up players after one or two good games. And also we need to judge on against whom a player is performing or not performing. David performing against Mohammedan Sporting, great. But again, he's performing against Mohammedan Sporting, right? And that is my problem. If he can't stand his Mohun Bagan, and even at his age, Baichung Bhutia would stand his ground. He would physically at least stand his ground. Those are our real problems in Indian football at the moment, where our players are having problems and issues where they shouldn't have problems and issues. And that is what we need to talk about and discuss, and where the game needs to happen, and those things are not happening. So therefore, for me, yeah, those are hard-hitting questions, but we have an issue of quality, and we're not willing to discuss the lack of quality across teams. That's the reality to me. Can they have slight edge compared to others? Yes, of course. Yeah. Bala Devi was a Indian international at the age of 40. And Manisha, look at that goal against Brazil, and look at where she's playing. Today, national youth champion female wrestler from Rajasthan died due to neck fracture. Were trying to incorporate coach who didn't take precautions. Terrible. Zorawa, yeah, should never happen. Should never ever happen. But yeah, Mohun defense, we didn't get season injury that saved the season. Exactly, Blue. I again say, if Mohun Bagan had injuries to Tom Eldred and Alberto Rodriguez, good night, Tata bye bye. Munila would not have even survived the season. De Bruyne or Valverde, they still have to prove. Do players like Vikram and other wingers have clauses like scoring X numbers of goals in their contract? Because I don't see why he has to act so selfish to take shots from unreasonable angles. No, the wave's very simple. Decision making. Indian footballers and decision making. Sports in the country, and people wonder why Indian parents hesitate from encouraging their kids from pursuing sports. It's understandable, but again, these are not fracture next time. Terrible to hear. Especially for Mohun Bagan, you 15 and 13 players are living with the families involved from different parts. The players remains intact. Does it mean any good? Shivam, some do it this way. Some again have been bringing players from the northeast. It can be of value. It could be, could not work. Vikram is not the type of player who can someone if the team plays good football. His game does too. Rishabh, I think Vikram is a mentality monster, and Vikram, as you say, if Changte is that who can take on a team, right? But Vikram. I like the player. End of the day, we have to ask the question: is he overrated after last season? Most probably is. This season, Mumbai's attendance in stadia has dropped magnificently, with some games having lower people than I-League games. The Evening game in Mumbai Football Arena had 2K people, Mohammedan Sporting 1.7. Waves, that's sad, but it shows that in Mumbai, um, yeah, and without success in Mumbai, people will not come. That's if I or you or we like it or not, that's the reality of things. And therefore, if you want to grow it, and in Mumbai, the team has to be successful. Otherwise, as in other places as well, people will not come. Any country in the world has strong grassroots, despite they're not achieved still. Africa Classic something. Yeah. China has good grassroots sports, but in team sports, yeah, has not worked, right? Sir, actor question, I'm diehard Mohun Bagan fan, but the other two clubs are in a dilemma. And you answered it yourself. RPSG is full control. The Mohun Bagan football department credit goes to Sanjeev Goenka and his team. Yeah, agree. That's the point. The other two teams are still run by the club officials, and therefore they're struggling. As Mumbai's city's recruitment of foreigners from the foreign market tend to do better in scouting players directly from the ISL. No, I don't think so. They've had foreigners coming from elsewhere who've done well as well. Yeah, this season, it's as I said, striking position is a problem. The Indian players, Mumbai City has signed a lot of young talented Indians. Even Brandon Fernandez as an Indian international player has not stepped up. That's a reality. I think Chikara, Sohail Bhatt, Gurkirat, David, etc. Indian forwards need to target clubs like Hyderabad so that they can play freely and proper game time like Chunga Amar is getting in Hyderabad FC. Yes, but do you think an Indian striker will get a chance? Hyderabad FC will be spending in the summer, so I don't see them giving a chance to an Indian striker. An Indian striker, wherever he is, has to fight his way through. As Sunil Chetri has fought his way through. Irfan Yadwad has fought his way through. So there is no other option to that. All of them have to fight. Hello, sir. How are you? Vikram, thank you. I'm good. Please tell me best Indian football stadium without a running track. The one which comes to mind is most probably Mumbai Football Arena. Yeah, Mumbai Football Arena or the Tilak Maidan in Vasco, a stadium which I like, but again, it's a terrible surface. I don't know if they've done the surface. Would be the Lamoal in Aizawl, right? So those would be the top three if you ask me. Do you think Morocco surprised everyone last year World Cup reaching semi-final? Last year World Cup? Really? Last World Cup. World Cup was in 2022. And yes, of course. What organization can't do basic things? They're not bothered. If you ask me, that's my observation, that they're not bothered about things, and therefore they don't do the things that you need to do. They very often, these people care about themselves rather than about the organization and about the success, and that's something that's a pain always to see. 1 hour and 44 minutes crossed. So let me quickly tell you, if you haven't, do leave a like behind, do leave a share behind. 19 likes so far. Thanks a lot. And also, if you want to 2,236. So 2 more subscribers. Thank you very much. Those of you who have been here for a long while and those of you who are new, welcome to the family. Cricket will always remain number one sport in Mumbai. Let's see. Pickleball is giving them a big run from what I'm hearing. Anything people saw England how they reached final. Monali, there have been many instances of teams reaching a level which nobody thought of. We love your analysis and knowledge. I have a suggestion. We need your voice more clearer, but one of Mike, which is playmaker, or Professor Kalinga have. Okay. Vikram, I will try and see 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 what I can do with the technical possibilities I have here. If given opportunity, will you do a YouTube live conversation? What are major problems you find? All they did was dig deep, tracks deep, and create a tier. Maybe something like that can be done in India too. Rishabh, that was done to them. The London Stadium, the London Olympics. In India, it won't happen. In India, the stadiums are so big, and if you dig them, let's say you Salt Lake Stadium or Nehru Stadium, won't happen, right? There are also ways in and out, will not happen. You would have to rebuild them completely. On average, Indian football, someone dedicating 20 plus years to something so passionately, genuinely for the same. The Waves, thanks a lot. Most probably. Some of my ex-girlfriends would most probably say that I spend more time on football or Indian football in the past. And yeah, it is. It is. Irfan Yadwa, striker, but he couldn't score and now is being played as a winger. Zoravar, yes and no, because I think we need players with work rate. And Irfan, even if he doesn't score, and that's why I say the same thing about Rahim Ali, these guys give you work rate. And that is something which is also missing in the national team. So therefore, give these guys a chance to come over in the last 2 years. He was playing I-League 2 for Bengaluru United. Before that, Goa Pro League. So the jumps that Irfan has made is incredible. Also, wanted to know if you get paid for putting so much of your time and efforts for this. Truly inspiration for me to do the same. What I'm doing with you guys, this is free. This is spare time. I love to do these conversations. Try and speak with people. Try and maybe educate the one or the other person and build something. And from that perspective, try and change things. That way, I mean, if you think 1998, I formally started or joined Indian football in the sense of starting indianfootball.com. April 10th is the day. Therefore, I will try and do. When North Korea and Ukraine outperform, it shows our quality. Yeah, Murali, sadly. National team की आधे एकटा match जीतबो इस season will the Indian national team win this match this season? Obinavo, big movement needed at age group level competitions. I don't see anything changing otherwise. Agree, Tobo. Recently, a Nepali girl suicided in KIIT University of Odisha for toxic relationship. The university first move was kicking all Nepali students who protested at university. I've read that blue. Crazy. I remember reading so many of your archive articles on your website when yours was the only page available so many years before it got picked up mainstream. Thanks, the Waves. Always good to hear that. Professor Kalinga was telling you wanted to do a live with you. Welcome to I've joined his lives in the past. Surely we'll join it. As her boyfriend had political connections, later never had to come to save them, bring international shame. Yeah. I think Hyderabad Stadium tracks were not that wide. Even Shillong Stadium can be converted. No, Rishabh, Shillong has just been it will host the national games, so nothing will happen. And Hyderabad also is a multi-purpose stadium, so none of these stadiums will turn into pure football stadiums. Even Manvir has high work rate. What makes him different from Irfan? Zoravar, Manvir has age and experience on his side compared to Irfan. Irfan is still, but he's still raw compared to that. So that's why I'm saying give him time. Manvir, that's why I always say Manvir is the most likely, and they all fall in the same club. In the past, I would have said Holichar and Nazari would have fallen into that bracket of working hard. I think Irfan needs to be played more in that role. Obviously, he's not going to play as a number 9. I like him it does make good runs. Still remember that header against Mumbai City FC, which hit the bar. Exactly, Rishabh. AIFF FIFA Academy appointed an Indian coach who studied coaching for Portugal for the under 15 team. Yeah, let's see what these guys can and prevent from NEET or NEET. And I have decided whenever I reach medical college, I'll definitely start creating football discussion videos on Indian football apart from studies. Nice, gaming warriors, do that. Sorry. Were you always based in Germany or did you move there anytime recently? Would love life. It's always nice to hear from you every fortnight. Hope you do well always. The Vapes, I'm born here. I'm born in Germany, born and brought up in Germany. Yeah, but spent 5 years of my schooling in Kolkata. That's where my love and interest for Indian football came about. I remember seeing India play Iran in 19 of watching an international game. And yeah. India won against Jordan U20 women. Yes, we spoke about it. Good, important that we did. Literally everything in 2025 about India is negative till now. Looks like Indian football will be the next heartbreak. I hope not. There's a certain danger to that, and hope that at some stage we can turn things around for a positive. I think VK need to score a goal to get a chance in national team. Okay, over now. Let me slowly come to an end over 1 hour and 50 minutes. A full ISL game, even with added time. As I always say and like to add, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, let's keep on talking about Indian football, guys. I think that's the most important thing. Keep on talking about Indian football. Try and get more people. I try and do my little parts here, talking to you guys, trying to talk about Indian football, and you know, so therefore, yeah. Let me take Game Warriors. Every marketing teams also should, they don't even address any match apart from their fake meetings. Game Warriors, they don't have a marketing team, you know. So what are they going to do? So let me come to an end. As I say, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks as always for caring. Good night, Zoravar. Good night, Blue. Good night, Gaming Warriors and the Vapes. Take care. See you next in Mumbai match day. Hopefully we'll win versus Mohun Bagan. Good night. Yes, that's going to be important. Mumbai City needs to at least get in the playoffs. And today was one of those games. If you win it, around and then the ISL Cup, who knows? But I guess Mumbai City only were able to draw Hyderabad away. Good night, Simon. As I said, like, share, subscribe. Watch the other videos, the shorter videos. As I said, I put in a lot of thought in the yesterday. Didn't realize that so many people would be interested in this. Why don't Mohun Bagan fans like their coach? Kolkata football, the changes, other things. Watch those videos. Watch even the earlier lives. There's a lot of interesting facts that we discuss. And I'll be back tomorrow after the Mohammedan Sporting versus Jamshedpur FC. Thinking of doing something on the I-League tomorrow morning. So keep watching. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Follow my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. I'll be back tomorrow night with another.